Good afternoon, everyone. Congressman Raskin, let me tell you, not only are you my congressman, but I think the rest of the nation would like to have you as their congressman, right? Am I right or what? So when I think about physical spaces we come from, I know it's more than just walls and ceilings. It's what those spaces make possible. Meals shared around a table, children doing their homework at the counter, memories made at holidays, neighbors who help one another and suddenly become your extended family. So when we talk about housing, we're not just talking about buildings. We're talking about the foundation of our lives. So again, good afternoon. I am Aruna Miller, Lieutenant Governor of Maryland. Thank you to the founder and co-chair, Barbara Goldberg Goldman. Can we give it up for her? Look, it was her vision and leadership that launched this conference, a space that has brought together policymakers, advocates, and community leaders to push for real solutions and keep housing at the forefront of Maryland's agenda. So thank you to all who made this event possible. Look, making things look easy takes a whole lot of planning behind the scenes. So to everyone that's been able to bring this many people together, thank you. Thank you so much. And I am just so honored to be here at the 34th Annual Affordable Housing Conference of Montgomery County. I don't know if all the elected officials are here or not, Barbara. Are they here? Some are here. But whoever is here as an elected official, thank you. Thank you for the great work you do, whether it's at the federal, state, or local levels. And I also am grateful to be with many housing experts, developers, and community leaders, and the team from Maryland's Department of Housing and Community Development, and HOC President Chelsea Andrews. I'm not sure where she is. There you are, Chelsea. Thank you for everything you do. You're all working to create more housing to make Maryland more affordable so residents can live more securely and more safely. I'm so glad to be back in Montgomery County, a place that's been my home for over 35 years. Everyone, not just you and I, deserves a stable home to build a life and raise a family, a community to grow and give back, and a place where they are seen and valued. And really, that's what we're all here for today, because we recognize the importance of a home, not just a roof over our heads, but a foundation for opportunity. No one should have to live in fear of rising rents and being priced out of their own community. Montgomery County, like every jurisdiction in the state, is facing a housing crisis driven by shortage of housing. I know you're no stranger to all this, but the truth is, for the past 16 years, housing construction has not kept pace with Maryland's population growth. To make our state more affordable for working families, we must close that gap and build housing that meets the needs of the communities that we are supposed to serve. Housing costs are crushing families and stalling our economy. Housing costs and commuting times are now the top 2 reasons young adults are moving out of Maryland for neighboring states. You know, we actually did a roundtable at the state, Governor Moore and myself, and we met with college students, and that's what they told us. The reason why they're leaving the state is because of the lack of affordable housing and public transit that's available. I don't know how many of you have kids, but I have 3 daughters. They're all adults, and let me tell you, none of them are interested in driving. They would rather get to where they need to by using public transit. So this is why we need to focus on transit-oriented development even more than ever, because a new generation of people that are working in our economy want to have options when it comes to transportation. By focusing on smart growth, building near transit and job centers, we can address housing affordability and strengthen our economy and keep our talent right here in the great state of Maryland. In 2024, Governor Moore and I introduced a bold and historic housing package. And thanks to every one of your support, the following bills are now the law of the land. The Housing Expansion and Affordability Act, which streamlines zoning and permitting, incentivizes development near transit, and repurposes underused public land. The next bill is the Housing and Community Development Financing Act, which expands tools to address vacancies and creates Maryland Community Investment Corporation to unlock federal funding for projects in underserved communities. And then finally, the Renters' Rights and Stabilization Act, which helps renters facing housing instability and creates a new office whose priority is to ensure renters know their rights. In 2025, we introduced the Housing for Jobs Act to link housing growth with job demand, bringing predictability to development. Look, I'm a civil engineer by training, and I worked for over 25 years in Montgomery County as a transportation engineer, building transit, roads, sidewalks, bikeways, and I can tell you that it's to have clear, predictable standards that was able to make my job much easier and to be able to make sure those that we are serving can get the services and the transportation facilities they need, and we could do it to a scale as well. Now, housing needs, we need to be able to do the same approach, clear, consistent standards so developers can build efficiently, safely, and at scale. Just like we design roads and bridges to reduce friction and prevent bottlenecks, our housing system should be built for flow, not gridlock. And I know Secretary Jake Day and the team at DHCD are thinking about housing development in the same exact way. What can we do to reduce these bottlenecks? How can we streamline the processes from state perspective? What can we do to incentivize development? Maryland's done a pretty good job of not building in places we need to protect, and like farmland and natural areas, but we need to get better at actually building homes in the places that are meant to be at. While the Housing for Jobs Act didn't pass, our work doesn't stop, because the road to progress is always under construction. And we are serious about solving our housing crises and securing our state's long-term economic future. If this is the case, we have to stay in it for the long haul. The governor and I will keep leading on this issue and working together in partnership with each and every one of you to help us reach our shared goal, making Maryland more affordable and an inclusive place so that everyone can call it their home. Thank you for allowing me to be here. Thank you for the extraordinary work you do each and every day for the long haul. It's going to require every one of us to make sure that we can make Maryland a more affordable place. So again, on behalf of Governor Moore, myself, and the entire Miller administration, thank you.